Okay, I'm back. And so now I had to get my stem cells, and I quit work, and I was doing good. I had a nurse come back and forth to my house. I think it was every other day or once a week, because I had, if you can see, I had these marks are from pick lines. Okay. These are all from pick lines, guys. This here. Some of these are just marks from other stuff when they stuck me. But all of these are pick lines. And here. These are all pick lines as well. And then I had one up here and there. Because I had it going into my jugular and all that stuff. These are from, I've had pick lines. It got infected, so they had to move it, and then they had to go up under my muscles, and this arm went numb bad because of the nerve. There's some nerve damage in this arm because they went up under the muscles, so all the nerves and everything they damaged. Then I had to get another pick line here, and then they had to clean it. The nurse had to come, change it, clean it, all that good stuff. I was so good at it that I started doing it myself because it would itch like crazy. Because there's a hole right there, and it healed up around it, and it itched so bad. So I had to, I hated that. But I loved when they did the alcohol because it burnt a little bit, so it kind of itched it for me. Then I had this here, and I had the 2 tubes hanging. That's where they gave me my chemo. Here, they tried to give me my chemo here. It got infected because I don't know why. But they had to take that pick line out. This part got black and blue, and it was just terrible because I guess it was too far down for the chemo. They have to do it more up here. So that's what I had to deal with. Then in 2007 I was good. I was in remission. Then I relapsed in 2008. I had to go to the hospital every month for 3 days and get more chemo, which was called ICE. ICE was a cocktail of different. So I had to get in there. They had to give me some type of drug. I can't remember what it is, but it had supposed to protect my kidney for 24 hours, and then they give me my chemo. On top of that, they gave me steroids. My chemo would make me eat. I was hungry, had to always eat. To the point where I'm the size I am now because of everything that I've gone through, all the chemo. Even though I'm not doing chemo now, it still affects your body. Chemotherapy is basically poison that kills every cell that you have in your body, and they're just your cells have to regenerate and get new ones. So I have neuropathy. I have thyroid, which is an underactive thyroid, would make my metabolism slow down. So when I do eat, it slows it down. So I'm on medication for the rest of my life. I'm on Synthroid for the rest of my life. I have to take once a day for the rest of my life for my underactive thyroid. So it's not like I eat all the time. I try to exercise, but it hurts. Like walking I can do, but my feet swell up, my ankles swell up. I have neuropathy, so I try to push myself. I did work last year. I worked at a hair store, and I also worked as a bartender part-time. I did both part-time, but that was too much. So I had to sit down. Like now, I'm at home. I don't work. I get my income. And then my husband works. I'm not working. That's why I fell in love with YouTube when I moved to Texas, and I started watching YouTube. Should have did it. And I love watching it, watching and hearing different stories and things. I can actually do my story. but it was very touch and go for me. They never seen nothing like it because of how well I bounced back from them telling my husband it's not looking good. It's maybe a 20% chance of her living, 90%. 90. And then some days they present a 90% chance that she won't make it. It's just all these percentages and this and that. And I'm very bullheaded. I don't like to listen. I listen, but I don't. When somebody tells me no, I find another way around it. When I hear, oh, well, you can't, or you can, I find other ways around stuff. Cause I don't want to hear I can't. And I pray to God. And I fought to get to where I'm at today. I'm not going to let that get me. No, I had a son to take care of and a husband to take care of. There was no way. No. And I told my husband to this day cries every time he talks about it, that when I told him when I was in the hospital and he told me that he wish he'd give it to me, he wish he had it. And I told him that you know what, God gave it to the right person because he couldn't handle it. He couldn't. And I told him that he could not have handled what I'm going through. And he just breaks down, and it was just very hard for us. Also, chemo is not nothing to play with, guys. Chemo is so destructive. It's not even funny. It kills the disease and the cancer and everything, but it also kills the common sense most of people have. Sometimes it gets like, me and my husband in 2008 had to go in the hospital and that. So, 2008 was the worst year. Me and my husband got into it, like, my head, like, we separated for a couple months because, I was better, I was okay. Now I was going out with my girl, who I thought was my friend. She was supposed to be supporting me. Mind you, she never came to the hospital when I told her I had cancer. She never once came to see me. My other girlfriend never once came to see me either. My best friend that lives in Maryland now, she was an RN, and she was my best friend. She was there with me the whole time, with my husband, and my cousin was calling me because she just had a baby. She couldn't come to the hospital because I wasn't allowed around babies because of their shots and things like that. My immune system was shot. I had nothing. I had to get my baby shots all over again. After I had got my stem cells, I had to get all my childhood shots over again. I guess they did it like I only got like 2 to 3 shots, but they gave it all to me. So I couldn't be around people. I couldn't be around kids or babies. It was crazy. So my best friend was always there. My best friend Melissa, she lives in Maryland, Virginia, and she was there. My other 2 best friends, they said that they couldn't see me like that. It's not about that. It's about support. I needed all the support I needed to get. I didn't care if you only showed up and looked at me and just laughed. At least you showed up. That really hurt, and it still hurts to this day. But my other friend, well, she's not a friend anymore. I don't even talk to her because she did some of the most, but that's another story. She did some of the most mean, hurtful things, so that's another story. But me and my husband were separated. Like the chemo, people don't realize chemo affects the part of the brain that makes you think clearly. It makes you do crap that you would never think about doing, and it's documented. They call it chemo brain. That's not a medical term, but that's what some of the doctors call it. Yeah, it was touch and go. I don't even want to get into that story, but just know that it's nothing. If you are going through cancer, if you're going through getting that chemotherapy, please, if you don't do nothing else, to talk to somebody, because you and your spouse have to understand, or you and your loved one have to understand what's going on with you when you're going through the chemo, when you're faced with possibly dying and have to face that plus get the chemo. It affects what you mentally, and it really did. Me and my husband were getting into some arguments and say meaningful things, hurtful things, and it took us to have a strong marriage to get back, because it wasn't that long we were separated. We actually wasn't separated, but we were. We was just that long fight. He had to go, and it was just people was in my life that shouldn't have been, and it was just a lot. You were very easily to be manipulated going through chemo. I'm sorry, that drug is not a good thing, but it is a good thing. But it could be a lot better if you get help in the beginning. Talk to a social worker, talk to a psychologist. There's so many places. I know Pittsburgh has Gilda's House, which you can call American Cancer Society, and that can show you to the right direction where to go if you have issues like that. But yeah, we've been through something, and after everything starts to wear, and the chemo, it does wear off. After all of that, I lost my grandma around that time also, so that was another thing that was just, mentally I wasn't there. So finally got back into the stride of things, and we got back and we talked, and we got it together, and I was good. And then I've been getting PET scans, and everything's been good. So everything so far, 2009, 2010, has been wonderful. Other than the pains and my legs and different. So I have my days. Don't get me wrong, I do have my days. But other than that, everything's been very good. But yeah, please, you guys out there who are struggling through this, or if you even need any information on Hodgkins, because it's not most talked about. I have a book here, and tells you a lot about it, but a lot of times you don't hear too much about Hodgkins, non-Hodgkins lymphoma, or Hodgkins lymphoma, different things like that. So, yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know. Leave it below. And, yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.